What's up and welcome to today's video. So obviously you've just been seeing the trades that I've been taking this morning, so it's a pretty busy morning really. It's probably the best London session I've had in a little bit. So yeah, so I've been in two trades. So GU took profit at I think it was 6.5R or something, 6.75R. It then pulled up quite far back, so probably 50% of the move, and then it continued to the downside now. But for me, my target was in place. I'm happy sticking to that. It was aligned with my plan. I'm not going to deviate from that. You know, it's so easy in a situation where price runs onto more profit, where you'd be like, you know, I could have done this, or I could have held on to the trade. But really, you just got to stick to your plan and really just follow the rules and really just have something systemized and mechanical to a certain degree in place, so that you can obviously scale that in the future, and it's subject for longevity as well. So yeah, TP hit on that one, so I partialed that at 3 to 1 like always. 20% of the volume, 80% of the volume then remained on the trade, and then I then I full volumed out of the trade at 6.75. I'm also in GJ now as well, so just taking advantage of London Open shorts. So that one I've taken a partial at 3 to 1. I'm just going to let it run really, to be honest. So for me right now, I'm not really going to be taking any more trades, to be honest. After this trade closes, whether it is a break even or it does go on to take profit, I'll be out of the markets today. Sometimes for me, you've got to know when to just take a step back from the markets and get out the markets for the day. For me, it's been a good London session, 2 winning trades, and regardless of how this trade plays out, I'm going to be out the markets after this. I'll close down the charts, and that's really where I'm going to be working on other things for the day. I've got a very busy day, very busy week. I've got a lot going on in life right now that I'm just focused on. So I just need to make sure that I'm doing, you know, bits of everything. I'm trying to organize everything as much as possible. I'm really trying to get more YouTube videos out there, and just kind of deliver in all different areas. Obviously trading, make sure everything's intact with that, analysis, markups, prep, back testing, what else, and just making sure I'm on top of my performance, really, making sure that everything's intact, making sure I'm maintained in a good level, making sure that I do the things daily and weekly to maintain that optimal performance, and then just go from there, really. Got a plan of action in place for 2 more FDMOs as well. Not doing that yet, and I probably won't tell you that I'm going through it when I'm going through it, because it will just add more pressure. But I'm not doing it just yet, but I'll keep you updated as I go through it, in terms of afterwards anyway, and let you know how I get on. But yeah, that's in place, so I've just got a plan in place for that and certain steps that I need to hit before that, but that's in place. And then obviously got my YouTube, things that I need to do for Discord as well, and like just so many different things right now, which is good, which is what I like to do anyway. But yeah, all good apart from that. But yeah, like I said, after this trade closes, I'm just going to literally close down the chart for the day, and do a lot of different things. So I'm also in the process of finding a new car as well. So I need to take a look at a few different cars. And then yeah, busy day, so I need to crack on. So I'm going to close this down, keep you updated with how the trade plays out, and I'm going to crack on with other work besides that as well. Also, I've got to train as well today, so I'm going to hit the gym. And yeah, got a very busy day. So you're joining me midway through a backtesting session. So I'm currently backtesting pound yen, and I'm backtesting January 2022. So beginning of this year. Now I've taken a few trades already. So if you look to the right, I'm a few trades in, total 5 trades. And yeah, something that I'm trying to do, if you watch the prior video prior to this one, I talk a little bit about monk mode and the period that I'm going through right now up until the 29th of May. So in that I mentioned that, you know, as a weekly test, something I'm really trying to do is get the backtesting hours in, get the frequency in, to really just increase my overall performance even more. Because what I'm looking out for is just minor tweaks here and there. What separates the wins and the losses? Is there anything that I'm missing currently that can help me move forward with an overall game? And that's really what I'm trying to figure out. So within this period of monk mode, I'm really just spending the time and investing that time wisely per day, usually 4 or 5 days a week, to really just spend the time and just, you know, backtest, collect the data, and then once that data has been collected, then I can, you know, see what commonalities are really prevalent that I can maybe tweak or alter to just increase my overall performance. So that's the plan of action. So like I said, you're currently midway through the session, you're joining me right now. So when I'm backtesting, I'll use either one of two softwares. So I'll use TradingView or I'll use Forex Tester 5, which is this software right now. Now, for anything prior to February 2022, I'm going to have a difficult time actually accessing that data on TradingView because it won't allow me to do that on such as the M1, M2, M3. So I have a little bit of a problem. So a solution for that is this platform, because it allows me to access that data prior to February, prior to 3 years ago. Like if I really wanted to, and I really wanted to go back to 2016 just to see what data I could collect from that year, I could do that. You know, I could do that on some of the lower time frames, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 5 minute, the 1 minute if I wanted to. Even, you know, I know a lot of people trade with the seconds. I personally don't, but if you really wanted to, you can have that access to the data. You can actually data collect for that, for the tick data. So it's a very great platform, and currently what I'm using right now to actually do that. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the backtesting. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief underlie of, like, you know, my backtesting overall. Obviously I'm not going to fully backtest because I don't want to get myself out of the flow completely talking and stuff like that, but just to give you a brief insight, I'll just walk you through for the next, you know, couple minutes and just show you what I'm looking for, take a sell, etc. So I've just been triggered into a sell on pound yen, and as you can see, I've taken 5 trades so far. So 3 have been wins. I know it says 4 wins here, but 1 was a break even. So here just to cover commission, and then 1 loss. So overall, this is just January so far. And I'm just seeing what I missed as well, because I obviously traded in January on pound yen. I'm seeing if there's any trades that I actually missed that I could have done better with. So it's almost like a mini review as well. So let's have a look at this. Now I entered this on some of the lower time frames, but we're not going to go down to the micro time frames. We're just going to stay on the M15 and the hourly. But basically, been triggered into a sell here. So this is my entry, this is my stop loss, and this is my TP. I'm just going to alter this TP here to here. The reason being is, number one, you probably already know, probably already kind of had an estimate of how I trade because I've talked about it in the past, but basically I trade with the order flow. So if you're trading with the order flow, with the trend, if you're in a bearish environment and you're anticipating that lower low to be taken out, that becomes my first target. So this is my first target. So I'll be looking at that as the first target. So in the sell, moving to break even. Obviously I have set rules in place and systems in place of when to move to break even, when to partial out, when to take full profit. Some of that's obviously private, but it's very important to actually have that system in place so that you know exactly when to do, you know, what. Well, okay, taking profit on this, and that was a solid trade. Could have held it to this swing low as well. This was basically a liquidity grab of all these highs above here, especially this high as well. Price failed to break above this previous swing here as well, so that was a very significant point. So this was the first target, this is essentially second target, but TP here. So obviously just showing you briefly a quick trade. So yeah, overall great platform. I really like actually using this because it just really provides that data. Like you can see, 6 trades, obviously the data itself, you get pretty much everything you need to, and you've obviously got profit factor, return, you've got everything you need to that gives you that data. So if you wanted to like screenshot this and actually add that into the collection later down the line, personally for me, I'll have a private spreadsheet. So I'll have a spreadsheet to the side of this. I'll track my data, I'll take the screenshots, which you can do on this as well. I'll then input that screenshot so I can see exactly what trade and where I took it, how I managed it, could I have done anything differently. Like, it's important to take those screenshots itself, but this gives me that accurate performance of, right, okay, if I'd have taken that, what would be the exact, you know, profit and profit loss, you know, how would things played out, what's my profit factor, what's my return, you know, all these kind of different things as well, and I can just track that in more detail as well via a spreadsheet. So overall, great platform. So this is a platform that I highly recommend you checking out. So there's a link in the description down below, and that will allow you 10% off anything on the website. So any product on the website you want to actually access or actually use, you can get 10% off that using the code in the description below. So I highly recommend doing that out. This video is also sponsored by Forex Tester 5 as well, and it's a platform that I'm always using. I've been using for the past probably 3, 4, 5 months, and it's a really great platform if you want to access that data prior to, you know, the last few months. And some of the other platforms you get out there can't access that data, so it's important to have something in place that allows you to backtest your strategy upon months and years in the past as well, to actually have that confidence to execute that in the live market. So highly recommend checking that out. Let me know how you do and keep me updated with your progress, and let's get on with the rest of the day. Right, so I said I'd give you an update when the trade develops. So prices pull back to the break-even area, so I'm at the trade now for just the partial profit of 20% of the volume. So yeah, little small win, and then the obviously bigger win earlier with GU. So nice morning, happy with that. And now I'm just going to move on. Like I said before, I've got a very busy day. Got a lot of things to do, got a lot on the to-do list, so I'm just going to be cracking on with them. What time are we on now? 20 past 10. I'll have a look coming into New York Open what develops, but I can't see myself taking any more trades today, to be honest. I'll keep in tune with the markets, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to be actively trading, I don't think, because I'm done for the morning now. Great day. Sometimes as well, like I said before, you really just gotta know when to cut it off for the day and just be like, right, solid morning, let's move on to the next one, let me crack on with other things. Yeah, so all good. But yeah, I'm gonna crack on with other things and keep you updated throughout the day. What I found was that obviously once I've got my raw data in place, I needed to then add refinements to test, experiment with, found out what worked, what didn't work, and I was very much in that experimenting phase. Now when you're doing that, you need the correct organization, because otherwise you're just gonna mess up the whole process itself. You wanna have that raw data, not change that raw data, but then copy a spreadsheet, make changes to that, and then go forward from there. So I'm gonna show you the entire process. So what I've basically done. Right, a little bit of an update. I have moved out of this office. I know you haven't seen that, but I've been downstairs and doing a few other things as well. I'm gonna go for a walk and go and train soon as well, get some fresh air. But basically, remember how in the last clip I said I wasn't gonna take another trade and I was done for the day? Yeah, about that. Ended up taking another trade. I'll tell you the reason. So coming into New York Open, I was like, yeah, I'm done for the day, unless I see something on pound yen develops, which didn't develop in London. So I obviously took the sell in London on pound dollar, that played out. Took the sell on pound yen, took a small partial and then a break even. But because price didn't really move and prices just essentially just swept the highs again and again, coming into New York, I was like, right, if that develops, I'm going to be taking the trade, because it would be rude not to, because it's within my plan, it's a go-to setup for me. Then not to take that trade would be doing myself a disservice. So I was by the charts, I was in the zone. I just finished a work block as well. I was like, right, I'm just going to take the trade, and took it, partialed out at 3-1. Risk is removed right now. It's running, but I'm just literally just going to let the trade run and see what develops coming into London close. So that's the plan for me. And then apart from that, I'm just going to be cracking on with more work. Like I said before, I've had a busy schedule today. It's been busy so far. Got a few more things to do today, so I just need to continue with that. But yeah, just to reiterate a point, I remember saying this a few times over the past 3 years probably, with different styles obviously and stuff like that, but talked about it. I remember talking about it when I was trading like structure days and patterns and stuff, but it's just the same applies. It's like, you could not take a trade for a single week. You could have a very slow week, not have a single setup. You could have a very slow 2 weeks or 3 weeks, not take a single trade. But then if the market's hot for 1 or 2 days, you need to adapt to the markets and really take advantage of that trades. And I think that's a skill in itself that you need to learn over time. So for me today, I was like, right, you know, pound dollar went. I missed the trade on euro dollar as well this morning, and then pound yen's developed. So I was like, right, I need to take the trade. It's a go-to setup. When the market's hot, you want to be taking advantage, and then obviously press the trigger, and this is the result. So it's been a good day. Price is pulling back a little bit on pound yen, so I'm just going to see how it develops, but risk is removed. Don't really care about the outcome. I'm just going to see how things play out. But yeah, that's the plan for me today, and it's just overall it's just cool to just pick up a camera and just document certain days and certain things I'm going through, and just see certain things come into fruition, and you know, just little stuff like that. It's just pretty cool to see. So yeah, hope you're all enjoying the content. I know someone left a comment on my last video saying something like, you know, it's really cool and it feels like you're going along the journey with me because of how I document things, and I think that's really cool. So appreciate that comment. But yeah, continue with the day and I'll catch up with you soon. So right now is 7:20. I'm just doing my markups and analysis for the day for tomorrow's prep. So been a busy day in the markets, to be honest, and been a busy day just with everything. Yeah, so obviously taken pound dollar to start the day off, which is a nice trade, really nice position. Then I took GJ, then I took GJ again. So all three trades were technically winners. One was a proper winner, the others were partials and then pulled back to break even. So that is completely fine, that happens, and yeah, we live to fight another day. So keen to see what tomorrow brings. Pound yen still looking good for more downside, to be honest. So I'm just gonna keep playing positions on that if things develop. And then yeah, other ones as well. In other news, EU and the DXY is interesting right now because EU has just broken the monthly low for the 23rd of March 2020. So that's an interesting play. So I'm keen to see what happens next. And then the DXY has broken the same highs from obviously the same time period. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting time frame, I think, right now. So I'm keen to just see what happens next, build the narrative going forward, and then take trades in accordance with that. So yeah, pretty interesting pairs right now. They're all in great areas. We've got a lot of momentum in the market to take advantage of, and you can't really ask for much else, anything better, to be honest. So yeah, at this point in time, things like euro dollar, pound dollar, are just literally looking for more downside. So until we see a switching trend, then, or unless we do, I'm happy just keep selling that. So that's how I'm going to approach euro dollar, pound dollar going forward. But if we do see that switching trend at some point, if price moves into a higher time frame area, then I will be looking for longs, but I'll just wait for confirmation. We've got a lot of momentum to the downside right now, so you don't really want to be catching a falling knife. You want to wait for confirmation and then get involved, but I'm not, you know, too fussed about anything like that right now. But yeah, that's pretty much me for the day. Like I said, I'm just doing markups right now. Just done 2 pairs out of 3. So I've done euro dollar because I missed the trade on that. Done pound dollar. Just need to do the 2 trades on pound yen now. And then I'm just gonna literally do my analysis for tomorrow, and then start to wind down for the night. Done everything I need to do apart from one more thing, and then I've got to be somewhere. So that's me for tonight. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Speak to you soon.